And today we're going to be discussing the fun topic of swapping your hex once PulseChain launches and what may be the best play and decision you can make for yourself. But again, I hope everyone is having a fantastic day, folks. It's Saturday. Today is January 27th, 28th. Oh my gosh. Can you believe the month of January is just 3 days away from being over? Mind bottling, folks. Mind bottling. I hope everyone again is having a fantastic day. The topic of cryptocurrency in general is one that's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. It's got new projects being developed, new tokens being introduced every single day. One of the topics and one of the projects that we're discussing today and has gained a lot of attention is PulseChain. Hey, let me give some shout outs to some folks real fast. Big GZ, my man, my dude, what is up? You changed the profile picture again. I love it. I love seeing every single rendition that Big GZ comes and plays with the pictures. I'm a big fan of adjusting these pictures as well myself. As a matter of fact, let me switch one of the pictures right now for the background. I was more of a big fan of this particular one that I have for my thumbnail. So give me 1 second while I get that added as my background here. But again, to everyone who is joining in, I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Folks, it's Saturday. We're just having fun. We're just checking stuff out. And we're all about each other here. So bam, let me make that my background, because why not? That is a sexy freaking background. And I've been making a lot of these with Midjourney. If y'all want to learn how to make some of that stuff, hit me up. Either way, of course, Big GZ, thank you as well for coming in, tuning in, not only being a part of the ATX crypto community and family, but also hitting me up afterwards on Twitter and sending messages about stuff like missing streams, but watching the next one. And you've been true to your word every single time. So I'm such a big fan. We have such an amazing community. I'm so glad to be a part of this community, to be a part of this circle, if you will, circle of friends, circle of influencers, circle of trust, whatever circle it is. But guys, I am a blast. But let's get back to the topic of this video here. So one project that's gained a lot of attention over just the last year and a half, 2 years essentially, is a new blockchain platform that's going to be called PulseChain. Now, what it's going to do is copy the entire Ethereum state. What that means is every single thing you have on Ethereum is going to get copied when PulseChain launches. So get ready, because it's happening soon, and you might as well be prepared, because what do we always say here on this channel? It's the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Say it with me again. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Folks, that is key to the game of crypto, to the world of crypto, to stocks, to life. If you can properly prepare, set a plan in action, and execute the plan, man, you're going to do so well. So one thing that we're focusing on again today is the blockchain that's going to be a new layer 1, where everything is going to be copied. Every single token on Ethereum is going to be copied in this new network. And again, it's going to revolutionize, in my opinion, the way we think about and the way we use the blockchain technology, even as of today. But what we're going to talk about today is a unique perspective on PulseChain, exploring a hypothetical strategy for acquiring PulseChain, PulseX tokens, especially if you were one of the few individuals or one of the many individuals who may have had the misfortune of missing the initial sacrifice phase. Now, if you did sacrifice for PulseChain and you've been holding out this entire time, keep waiting, guys. Patience is a virtue for a reason, and delayed gratification is only to be rewarded with that much stuff, okay? That much better stuff in the future. What's going on, Gabriel? Appreciate you coming through. Hey, Gabriel. Love it, guys. It's Saturday. Y'all are coming in, checking out the stream, having fun with me. Love it. I absolutely love it, folks. Incredible. This just being here, right? Just being here is an absolute blast. So one copy in particular that's going to be very popular when PulseChain launches is going to be Hex. because Hex you're going to get a copy of on the PulseChain network. So you will have, and again, you'll have a copy of every single token on the Ethereum network on PulseChain. But the main one is Hex because that's part of the Richard Hart ecosystem. It's part of the original, the OG, and the Richard Hart ecosystem, if you will. And so a lot of folks are going to be making a play. Do they swap their Hex for PulseChain? Do they swap their Hex for PulseX? Or have more likely chance of succeeding in the future? And that's kind of what we're going to be discussing today. Gabriel says, we are close, man. We have to be ready. Yes, you have to be ready, folks. You have to. You definitely have to. Like, why would you not? Use this time to make sure that you're going to have the best choice made for your financial future success, okay? Big GZ saying, what's good, Gabriel? So, guys, the decision is going to be a tough one. It is going to be a very difficult decision because it requires careful considerations of risk. It requires careful considerations of rewards. And you have to look at every single angle and every single option. So in this video, we're going to explore a unique perspective on this topic and offer some insights that may help you make your informed. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. What you decide to do with your own money and your own crypto is going to be your decision. No one else is going to be there holding your hand. Be a big boy or girl and own up to your own decisions that you decide to make. To begin with, it is important to understand that the Hex copy, the token that was on the Ethereum and copied over to PulseChain, is currently already being traded on several decentralized cryptocurrency exchanges or DEXs. It's a token that's gained a lot of popularity over the last 3 years among investors, among other people who plan on trading and using it as that perspective as well, and is considered to be relatively stable in terms of a secure investment, right? We already know that it's done 3 years working flawlessly as it should, as it is intended. It's done exactly like it was supposed to do from day one, and that's what we're getting when we're getting this right now, okay? So it's important to remember that the Hex that you're going to have copied over onto PulseChain is still going to be a relatively new token, and it can be quite volatile. On the other hand, PulseChain and PulseX are also two new tokens that have yet to launch. There was a sacrifice phase for them, and that was for the freedom of speech and freedom of movement, so it was a sacrifice. For those of y'all who are unaware, you sacrifice the coins, you sacrifice the money for those freedoms of movement and freedoms of speech. Now, should you get something later in the future is just up to whoever decides. But again, it's not something you should expect because there is no expectation of the work of others or profit from the work of others. These tokens are already being developed right now as we speak, and they're going to get they're going to give in a copy of Hex on PulseChain. And it's going to be essentially a promise to offer a number of benefits outside of what Hex already offers. For example, PulseChain and PulseX are built on different blockchain platforms, which means they may have a more secure and more stable, which means they may be more secure and more stable than the copied over Hex or p-Hex. In this case, we're going to say Hex on PulseChain. And I say p-Hex because it's just a lot easier to understand that. Additionally, PulseChain and PulseX are being developed with the goal to provide liquidity to the crypto market. PulseX is a decentralized exchange built with the intention of PulseChain launching at the same time. So that way, once PulseChain launches, there will already be a platform to do all your trading with a decentralized fashion. It's also going to provide liquidity to the crypto market, which could make them even more attractive to new investors, especially newer traders who are looking to yield farm and that kind of stuff without having to commit to the same timescales that you do with Hex. So despite the potential benefits, there's also some risk associated with swapping Hex. Okay, so there's always risk with everything that you decide to do. So if you decide to swap your p-Hex for PulseChain and PulseX, it's important to remember that they're currently still in development and will continue to remain in development. Hex is already a secure copy, and I want everyone to remember this. Hex is a product. It is 100% finished. There is no more additional changes that will ever or need to happen to Hex. It is a 100% perfectly flawless operated crypto at this point in time. It's already been audited 3 times. It has 100% uptime. It's working flawlessly. It's perfect and finished. Whereas with PulseChain and PulseX, they're going to constantly be in development. That is just what comes with layer ones and decentralized exchanges. It is very tough to get that to be happening. Gabriel says, will coins on PulseChain be listed on CoinMarketCap, or will it be another app just for PulseChain? Yeah, so you know, I saw something the other day where I think it was in Coinbase, if I'm not mistaken, where they were talking about PulseX already being listed on Coinbase, and I think it kind of has to be associated with these. Now, I don't like centralized exchanges being involved, and CoinMarketCap isn't a centralized exchange. It's just a platform that kind of showcases where things list. I think it will be listed there. Will it be listed in the right order? I don't know. All right, you got Binance, who is in charge of it, or CZ, who's in charge of CoinMarketCap. So in that same discussion, in that same regard, I don't know if they're going to list it in the correct order in the correct place. Only time will tell. Hex to the moon, Ben Ledesma says. Yes, Hex to the moon. Let's go. Like, why not? Let's go. Devs still active on GitLab? You bet your bottom, Gabriel. And we're going to check that out here as well. Might as well, since you mentioned it real quick, I'll bring it up and share my screen for a brief second. We'll get back over here and talking about the overall development with this as well. But this is GitLab, folks. This is GitLab for PulseChain right here. You can see Brett Tepp, or Brett Paulson, was active January 27th. SJB active January 27th. You got 3 Commas Capital active January 26th. Folks, these are developers in the PulseChain ecosystem. They are active AF. They are always on. And then you get January 15th, and then you really get into like November, September, and that's when we see Richard Hart. So really what I'm waiting for, folks, and I've said this before, is once I see Richard Hart activity on GitLab, oh shit, I think we got something big coming. You know what I mean? So that's really what I'm personally waiting for, but I love seeing the fact that these developers, who are known developers for PulseChain, are very active, very, very active. Every single day, Brett Paulson has been active every single day that I've checked. So if we refresh this a little later today, I can almost guarantee he'll be active January 28th of 2023, right? And so this is definitely happening. Oh, damn. Forgot to share my screen. You already know. Good old me. Shame, shame. But let me go back and share it real fast. So we got Brett Paulson active January 27th, 2023. We have SJB active January 27th, 2023. You got 3 Commas Capital active January 26th, 2023. Kyle Barr January 15th, 2023. Folks, active. These are developers on PulseChain right now, and you can check this out if you just go to gitlab.com. You can check out this information yourself and see everything happening. Now, I haven't seen any update to necessarily say like Go Pulse, for example, like over here on this kind of stuff, right, on the actual implementations of everything. But I'm not worried there, because once I see the devs being active, it just makes me that much more bullish in the entire thing. So you just go to members, and then I just go and sort it by last activity. It makes it a lot easier, and then you can filter it the opposite way, because it'll go December 1st. Click this little icon, flip it the other way, and it'll show everything in the most recent time scale. So Brett Paulson has been very active every single day. January 27th for SJB, 3 Commas Capital, January 26th, and January 15th for Kyle Barr. Good shit. Good shit, everybody. I love seeing it. So back to the topic of what we're discussing today. Should you decide to swap your hex for PulseChain and PulseX? And is it really one of the best plays that you can possibly make? So, additionally, PulseChain and PulseX are always being developed with the goal of providing liquidity. We talked about that, and it's definitely going to be looking pretty attractive for newer investors, because with Hex, there's more to it than just buying a crypto. Whereas with a layer 1 token like Ethereum, Solana, those sort of coins have a purpose, and that purpose is to pay for the gas fees, to pay for the transactions on that network. Well, that's what PulseChain is going to be. It's going to be a coin on the actual layer 1 PulseChain, right? It will be used to pay for the transactions, to pay for the gas. So keep in mind, that's going to be the one benefit that a lot of folks are going to be looking. It's just that new layer 1 token. We've seen it time and time again where within the first 300 days, PulseChain may end up seeing roughly about anywhere between a 200 to 500x. And again, we'll say within the first year, but maybe faster, 200 to 300 or 200 to 500x. That's pretty good. But is it really the best play, right? And so despite some potential risk and despite some potential benefits, there's still some risk associated with swapping it, right? And it's very important for everyone to know that there are risks with these decisions making. For example, with crypto, everything is highly speculative, folks. Let me just say that, right? Crypto market itself is highly speculative, right? It is just it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, absolutely, Gabriel. Yes, of course, my friend. Yes, the devs are active. Cash up, cash. Howdy. Let me take a little sip of some coffee. But yes, howdy, Cash Up Cash. What up? Crypto Freedom, good morning. Let's go. Woo, woo, woo. Generational wealth incoming. Facts, Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. And it'll be Hex on both networks. eHex on Ethereum and pHex on PulseChain. Now, again, it's just going to be named Hex. I just put eHex, pHex to make it easy, so that way everyone has a better understanding of what's going on. Crypto Gains Club in the house. What up, my friend? What's happening? Happy Saturday, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon to anyone who's just now tuning in. Thank you so much for coming on through. Be sure to smash the like button, or gently caress the like button, or just turn it blue, or whatever makes the most sense for you. And then also we can go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I do a daily stream live discussing this entire topic of what's going on. So whenever you're essentially trading a token that's been around for a while, has relative stability, it has a good, community already behind it. It's shown that it's been here for quite a while. And then you transfer it into a token that's still always in development. It has uncertainties surrounding it. Not saying that PulseChain is going to fail by any means, folks. I don't want to ever see that. I don't wish that upon anybody. But you're taking something that does actually have already good product market fit, does exactly like it says it will, is doing exactly like it's designed to do, and you're swapping it for switching it to something else, okay? So keeping that in mind, whenever I end up looking at these sort of areas, it just means you're taking a lot of risk in order to potentially reap the rewards of PulseChain and PulseX. So as long as you're willing to understand the risk and the reward that comes along with it, you can get that, right? One way to mitigate this risk associated by swapping these coins for PulseChain, or by swapping Hex for PulseChain and PulseX, is to, of course, hold a diverse portfolio. So it doesn't just have to be all in on PulseChain, all in on PulseX. You can still hold some Hex, folks. It's okay. It will be okay to hold Hex, and once you hold it, hopefully you learn the mechanisms of staking it so you can reap even more rewards by earning trustless yield and doing what Hex protocol was designed to do, and delay that gratification even further. So by holding even other coins, it doesn't necessarily have to be Hex. You can hold other stable coins in the wallet, such as USDC or TUSD or DAI. These stable coins are, of course, pegged to the value of the US dollar, which means their value is relatively stable. So by holding a diverse portfolio of just stable coins, you can reduce the risk and still be able to take advantage of the potential benefits of PulseChain and PulseX when they launch. Now, again, a lot of folks are playing this, folks. just keep in mind, whatever you're planning on doing, a lot of other people are also planning on doing the exact same thing. So, keep that in mind whenever you're making these decisions and all that. Another strategy that you may consider taking is waiting for, say, liquid loans to come out, for example, and taking a loan out against the hex that you have. This is a way to extract value from hex without selling it. Liquid loans is one such platform that does allow you to do this in a trustless way without a need of admin keys. It could be a good option if you want to take advantage of the potential benefits of PulseChain launch and PulseX, and you don't want to sell your hex. So keep in mind there are different strategies going into this, because guys, it's not just a one-size-fits-all scenario. This is something that PulseChain is going to be a brand new blockchain. And again, with that being said, comes with a lot of hypothetical plays that you can make. You can potentially swap all of the hex that you currently have and only go into just PulseChain. If you decide to do that, you may see PulseX run up and you may be sitting on PulseChain and regret that decision. So it's definitely important to keep that in mind whenever you're looking at these decisions, folks. High risk, high reward, but there is volatility, right? There is definitely risk involved. Are you giving away something that could potentially change the way everyone thinks of store value? And that's what Hex does. Are you giving that away for something just to chase the new shiny object, right? Are you FOMOing? Do you consider it FOMO? If you consider yourself FOMOing into PulseChain, you might want to hold off just a little bit, right? Like, be patient with this game, because there's no harm in being patient. Yes, you may miss the first 10x, 50x return, but as we know, especially with all cryptos, things will drop 60, 70, 80, possibly even 90%. So in some cases, waiting could be your best play. And so I want everyone to keep all this in mind when you're coming up with all of your strategies. But let's take a look at some more hypothetical situations, some more hypothetical strategies for acquiring these, because if you did miss the sacrifice phase and you weren't fortunate enough to be around during that time, or maybe you're just now hearing about it, there are definitely some ways to get involved with this right away. But again, with every risk, there is, with every reward, there's risk, right? So it just depends about how much you're planning on doing, what you're planning on taking into consideration. So definitely one of the key challenges that you can face, even as an investor of a new crypto, is the fact that the initial sacrifice phase for acquiring the tokens have already passed, right? The time to sacrifice has came and gone. That was a year and a half ago, almost even for PulseX point in time. We're almost going on 2 years since the sacrifice of PulseChain. That was in July of 2021. So come July this year, we'll be sitting on 2 years during that time. And would you have been okay with sacrificing and waiting 2 years? All these things have to be considered. Like, you're going to be like, damn, I wish I could have. Damn, I wish I would have known. But you may be sitting on the other end now for the people who have been waiting, who are like, I am so tired of waiting. This is absolutely ridiculous. And now you're just now hearing about it and you're like, dude, I wish I would have known about it back then, where I could have sacrificed. Everyone's going to have their own unique perspective, and it's up to you to make sure that you stand true to your word and you stand true to what you said you were going to do. Guys, this could take longer than possible, and we already know that to be the fact. We already know that to be the case. PulseChain is now taking quite a bit of time to launch, and that's okay, right? To every single person who is waiting for it to launch, I'm okay with waiting. Why? Because I know when it does launch, it's going to launch with such perfect, flawless operation. Why? because that's something Richard Hart has to stay true to. That's something he's been saying about Hex for years. It's 100% uptime, it's flawless operation, it's immutable code. All these things are everything that Richard Hart has built his character around. And to have PulseChain launch and to have it go down constantly, his reputation would instantly be shot. Not only that, people would somehow lose faith about Hex because people are just that crazy, okay? So he cannot, he will not, he won't allow that to be the situation. He won't allow that to be the case. So people did miss the sacrifice phase. It has already passed, and this means that for many people, the opportunity to get in ground floor and buy tokens at a discounted rate is really no longer available. However, there is still a way to acquire PulseChain and PulseX tokens, even if you missed out the initial sacrifice phase, okay? So these are just some hypothetical strategies that I'm just going to be sharing with everybody, and what you decide to do at the end of the day is always your decision, okay? The strategy discussed in this video is to utilize Hex. So we just talked about it just a moment ago, but Hex is probably going to be the safest assumption to get into PulseChain upon launch, because there shouldn't be any bridge to allow you to convert money, something that has dollar value, into the PulseChain ecosystem, because it has to launch with zero value in order to have good tax implications, in order to have good things to say it's an airdrop, it was given for free, all these things. If it has value instantly when it launches, USD value instantly when it launches, then it could be taxed in some areas based on their laws. So it will be launching without a bridge mechanism built in, but then if a few days or a couple days later, the bridge could open. So essentially what you're looking at doing right in the very beginning is called ratio trading, okay? So it's essentially the best and probably easiest way to get PulseChain and PulseX when PulseChain launches, okay? And I want to share this with everyone because, again, I think it's definitely important for people to know. It's based on an assumption that you're going to be able to trade some Hex and convert it either to PulseChain or PulseX tokens at a favorable rate during this period, right? So when PulseChain launches, there is not going to be a dollar value for the coins. And that's meant to happen that way on purpose. Appreciate that. Love it. Bahos. But yeah, Bahas. Love it. Thank you so much. Nice hat. ATX, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Thank you. Much love to every single one of y'all. So again, for what we're talking about with the ratio trading, for swapping and everything like that, it's definitely important to understand that during this time, you can acquire the tokens at a discount. However, it's important to note that this strategy is extremely risky, right? If you are unsure what to do, if you do not understand ratio trading and understand the implications of risk to reward, the best strategy for you is just to wait and buy the dip 30, 60, 90 days after PulseChain launches. Because we can assume there will be dip. There are several people who have been waiting on the sidelines for PulseChain to launch, and they're going to extract value immediately, especially for folks if they see a good 10x at launch from what they sacrificed. Some folks are just going to straight cash out. Now, that's going to be up to them and what they decide to do. I personally don't think that's a good strategy to go with. I have my own profit-taking strategy that I'll share, and I shared with the people here in my streams. It's a good 5% strategy every single time the price doubles. And I actually have a whole spreadsheet that goes into this in more details. I'll be sharing with the Patreon group here in a little bit once I get all that set up, but that's looking to be in February. So another strategy to also look at is to spread the opportunity to buy equal allocations of all three coins: PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex. Folks, it is a long-term strategy which assumes all three coins are going to be bullish over a multi-year time frame. So over the next 3, 5, 10 years later down the road, that is your best chance to mitigate the most risk by diversifying your portfolio across multiple coins rather than trying to put all your eggs and all the bet in one. I don't want everyone to put all the eggs in one basket. I don't want everyone to bet 100 on one coin. I don't think one's going to outperform the other. Yes, short term, very short term, there are some plays that you can probably make that can probably be very effective, like PulseChain having a higher chance and likelihood of getting to 100x before PulseX is probably likely. But again, to try to put all your eggs in that one basket, betting that it is going to happen, no one bets 1,000. No one's going to be that correct. No one's going to be that good. So the best choice you can do for yourself is to diversify. If you plan on doing some ratio trading, especially in the beginning, make sure that you're holding on to some hex. Make sure that you can do some ratio trading to get yourself some PulseChain, and make sure to get some PulseX as well. But do it in a good strategy because, folks, crypto is volatile, highly volatile. It's uncertain. We don't know where it's going to do in the future. We don't know where it's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now. We know it'll be here. It's here to stay. It's here to stick around. We don't know where the price is going to be. So if you're making a bet that in 1 year time, you're going to be able to do everything else that you want to, and that's the time that something happens on the one coin that you put all your money in, and all the other coins are then taken off, and the one you put all your money in is now losing some or going down in price because, again, crypto is volatile. It doesn't just go up forever. Then you're probably going to have some regret. Like, you're just going to, like, it's this weird little... It's called ROMO, regret of missing out, right? Or regret of missing an opportunity. So you're gonna have this moment in time where you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have just. And instead of saying I wish I would have just, all you have to do is just in the very beginning, get yourself some of all three, right? Get yourself some of some Hex, some PulseChain, some PulseX. Make sure you keep your Hex on the Ethereum network. That way, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, these are all bullish multi-year, through a multi-year view. So as long as you're looking long-term, as long as you're looking, I'm holding this for XYZ years and I'm going into the future because I want this to be generational wealth, then you're going to make it holding all four. That's your best likelihood chance of doing it. So with a highly volatile and uncertain market, even if you miss the initial sacrifice phase, you can still acquire some PulseChain and PulseX by utilizing the strategy outlined in this video. There are many strategies that we can talk about, but however, it's also important to be aware of the risk involved and to make sure that you have a good, solid understanding of the market before making any trades. So folks, if you don't understand ratio trading, that's okay. You don't need to understand ratio trading. That is a simple mechanic for the first couple of days before PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex on PulseChain have any value. Okay? Firefighting 82, never sell. Hey, I feel you, Firefighting 82. Hey, when we're talking about those, some folks didn't have the opportunity to get into the sacrifice phases for PulseChain or for PulseX. And so they're going to try to figure out how can they best get involved in this scenario. What is the best swapping strategy? What's the best way to get involved right away? In my personal opinion, get yourself some of all four coins, right? If you got Hex on Pulse, or if you got Hex on Ethereum already right now, currently at this moment in time, and you got stakes on Hex, or you got stakes on Ethereum, you got your liquid Hex, and you're holding it because you're planning on making certain plays with it when PulseChain launches, then make sure that you have it, because again, proper preparation prevents poor performance. We've said it over and over and over again. Folks, the best thing you can do is make a plan, implement that plan, and execute the plan, right? So looking at how everything could end up going, could end up reaping the rewards, I'm with you, Firefighting 82. Never sell. That's always one of the strategies. But some folks weren't fortunate enough to be around during the time of sacrifice for PulseChain or PulseX. So probably the best play is by getting yourself some Hex. Using some of the Hex to get into PulseChain and PulseX. Now, if you do not understand ratio trading, again, I will say this one more time. If you do not understand ratio trading, your best bet is just freaking wait a couple of days. There is no harm and no foul by waiting a couple of days where you can then see value of what those coins are actually at. From there, it's going to do a price discovery. When any new coin is launched, any new token is launched, it goes through a phase called price discovery. And that's what the entire overall market says. This is where the price ends up falling. So that's going to be outside of all the people selling, all the people buying, everything happening, the ups and downs, the volatility come that with the brand new coin launching. All those things are going to be going so volatile, so crazy. And so, but once you know, okay, I get this amount for this amount, then you can make a better decision. But if you're going through and saying, I get 1 hex for 1 pulse, first of all, bad ratio, right? That right there, bad ratio, not good ratio. So you would not want to give away 1 hex to get 1 pulse chain. Not a good ratio. But if you don't understand that, then that also means that you definitely don't understand ratio trading and you shouldn't participate in it. There's no need for you to participate in it. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Because then you're going to look back and say, damn, dude, I made a terrible decision. I knew I just wanted to get PulseChain. I didn't even know what it was at the time. I just had to get it. I just had to get it. Well, you're probably going to end up getting pretty pissed off at yourself, okay? So let's just be real about that real fast. Gotta finish my coffee while the Ember mug keeps it warm. And you know, have some fun. Hey, you like the little shirt too? PulseChain. We're bullish as fuck on PulseChain, folks. Or should I say hoodie? It's not a shirt, it's a hoodie. But we are bullish AF when it comes to PulseChain. I definitely am. So I'll probably be wrapping up the video here in just a little bit, but guys, let's just say PulseChain is a new exciting blockchain. It has a potential to revolutionize the way we think about blockchain. It has a potential to go and do massive X's, probably faster than you can even imagine. If you weren't around during the launches of any other layer 1 blockchain, then you probably don't understand something going up 100x in value. And for some folks, they really just can't fathom that, and they can't wrap their heads around it, or they're gonna see their X's go from 10 to 20 to 50, and they're probably gonna do something stupid like cash out. Now, there's a proper way of cashing out, and we share this within everyone as well. But again, I definitely think there's a proper way to cash out. Taking profits is not a bad thing, but you have to do it properly, because again, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So if you over here just cashing it all out, you're going to regret whenever it goes and does another 50, 200, 100x, whatever it is. You're just going to be sad. Even though you could have cashed out like $3 million and it goes and does another 50x, you're going to be sad. You're going to be like, damn, I could have had $150 million, right? And like those moments they eat you alive. And like you were so happy before cashing out 3 million, you're like, this is it, I've won. And then you see it go and do another 50x and you're like, oh my god, I really screwed up. so make sure that you have some sort of way that makes sense to everyone, that makes sense to you. Never sell is definitely by far one of the best things that you can do. Once you get some of these coins, by whether it be ratio trading, whether it be getting in during the dip, during the 30, 60, 90-day window of this new blockchain layer 1 PulseX layer decentralized exchange launching, there will dip, folks. It is impossible for a coin just to literally go like this forever. It's just impossible. This is not physically possible, because there's always going to be sellers, and when there's more sellers than there are buyers, there's going to be a dip. That's just how the price works. That's all prices. That's everything. And then when there's more buyers than sellers, the price just continues to go up. It goes up. But that is a thing that once you understand that dips are in fact in the game, maybe you make a play that you don't get in the first 30 days, 60 days, and you wait to see the dip come 60, 70, 80%. Because who knows exactly where it may fall, but as long as you are planning on something happening, then you can start setting yourself limit orders which is another great strategy. Once you actually start understanding how that works, you're going to set limit orders to scoop up some additional price during this time. I think that's what you should be doing right now if you aren't already, especially with your own crypto. Hex is definitely my favorite right now because it's what's around, it's what I love, and I don't want to mess with any other crypto. But once PulseChain and PulseX launches, folks, there's going to be several plays happening all the time. And that is going to be something that you're going to have to come up and make that decision. Sometimes never selling, like Firefighting 82 right here says, can be the best decision you could possibly ever make. Once you have yourself some Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, Hex on PulseChain, Hex on Ethereum, all the tokens you have in the rich chart ecosystem, and then you just don't touch them. Hopefully you stake your Hex and you don't touch them for 5 years. Oh my gosh, when you look back 5 years from now, you're going to be so thankful that you didn't do anything during the times when it was so volatile. Definitely going to have it. Best way to take profits is ask ATX for the spreadsheet. Yeah. So I'll share that with everyone real fast, just to kind of give a little update on the spreadsheet here. So this is actually the beginning of the spreadsheet whenever I first started. And it kind of began starting here with this spreadsheet where I had a good little profit taking strategy. You can put in your initial investment. You would put in the initial price. It would then tell you what the current price is, and all this stuff would tell you like when to take profit. So if the price does a double, it automatically calculates the double for you right here, right? Very easy, very simple. You choose how much percentage you want to take out. I have 5%, 10%, 15%, and 20%. So if you feel like you can't just do 5% and you have to go 20, it'll tell you how many coins are remaining every single time that you decide to take profit. Very simple, very easy to understand, right? And then you can come on over here and actually have a crypto profit taking tracker. So you would go in here, and when you do take profit on something, you just type in what you took profit at. You type in the profit percentage right here, and it'll figure all that information out, right? Because it'll say the initial investment, initial price. You type in all this stuff. You type in the current price of when you actually sold, how many coins you sold, and you could even say how many multiples in price it did, and it'll do all the other math for you right over here to say how many coins are remaining, what's invested, so on and so forth. So pretty fun thing here. I also have a crypto live tracker of the top 100 coins, and it'll do a live price of all the 100 coins happening right now in the crypto space. So you can see like Bitcoin. Whoops, it's too small. I get it. Oh, let me zoom out just a smidge. Cool. So then you can come on down here and you can see like you got all the top 100 coins, and this is the live prices of all these coins. So pretty fun thing that I built on this one. But guys, I made it even better, of course, right? We're always trying to make things better and better and better, especially with our space. So this is actually the most recent spreadsheet that I have. And this actually does a phenomenal job. It does a entire profit taking calculator built in for you. You just say how much the initial investment was. You say the initial price. So say we did 2,000 here. And you could just say the initial price for Hex 0.023. It can give you the live Hex price of 2.6 cents right now. So this is actually the live Hex price in here. Let me zoom in just a smidge. So it'll give you the live Hex price as well, how many coins that you actually bought when you first bought it. And then you just say the percentage in profit that you would want to take. You can choose between a future price if you want to look at what could be in the future. So if I click this off, it'll actually adjust everything for the future price. And so this is a nice little spreadsheet that I have going on here. And it'll tell you if you end up doing this from where you currently are and the price ends up being 54 cents, then you would have 23x from where it currently is. It would have done 4.5 doubles. Just taking 5% profit, you would have taken 2,600 profit, and you would still have 70,000 coins remaining, and the actual overall worth in the overall coins would still be 44,000 within the coins that you have sitting there. So you would have taken 2,600 profit. You can adjust this to even more percentage if you feel like, and it'll adjust all the math for you as well. So it can now do 4,700, 4,200 is what you have remaining. This is, the latest and greatest here. That's live. This is a future and live spreadsheet down here. So if you want to see what it currently is versus the live price, then you can compare and contrast. If it doesn't do a double, then I wouldn't have taken any profit at this time. Awesome little thing over here, and it actually has a full little desired goal. So if, like, say you wanted to make a certain amount of money, right? Say you wanted to make $19,000. Well, the hex price would have had to do 128x, which would have been 7 doubles, leaving you $19,000 in profit with 60,000 coins remaining. So a nice little thing that I have going on, and you can actually break down the totals over here if you just want to play with what the doubles look like. Oops, it's tough to see that one with the spreadsheet. But yeah, you can actually change this to see the doubles as well. So say it does a 16x, it will have told you how much you would have taken out. 64x would have told you how much you would have taken out. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. So, and then I actually have a whole build a calc down here. So if you just want to have this for your own calculator for the next coin that you end up getting, or for each coin that you end up getting, you can do that. So that is probably the latest and greatest on my profit-taking spreadsheet. To everyone who is wondering about the profit-taking spreadsheet status, that is what we're looking at right there. So currently still in the work, currently making it even better every single day. And guys, this is something that I plan on launching very, very soon. So stay tuned for that information. I recommend at least 2 wallets. One you use for taking profits, and one you use for long-term holds. If you screw up your profit taking, you still got the moon bag. Firefighting A2 can't say it any better than that. I personally think you should have multiple wallets for several reasons. One, if you ever get compromised with one, you already have another fallback wallet that, you know, you have something that you can still hold on to. Another thing, yeah, or if you connect it to a dApp that, you know, you grant access to spend all of your coins and you get compromised, then it's like, damn, well, that was all the money gone in one go. So having a fallback wallet is never a bad thing, but also having a profit-taking and a profit-taking wallet, and then also a long-term wallet, definitely good to have. Sometimes, if for instance you have hex stakes out for 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years, and that's all that you have, for example, then why would you need that wallet connected to the internet all the time? You don't. You don't. There's just no need to. Why risk something that you're not even having the ability to take profits until 5 years from now? You wouldn't. So the best strategy that you can do is called either having a degen wallet, where you can make your quick trades if you're looking to have that activity. If you just must have your trades and that just has to happen, then that's definitely a part of the strategy as well. Let me come on over here. Love my friends, man. They're absolutely incredible. But yeah, so you can always have the one bag that you can have and hold and say, I'm gonna do this sort of activity. Guys, connecting to something for the first time brand new, make a dummy wallet, like, or just make a wallet that holds $5 or so. Just do things smartly, right? Pretend that you have a safety deposit box, and every single time that you connect that deposit box to anything, you're giving everyone access to that vault, to that deposit box. So if you have tons of value and tons of riches and tons of value sitting in there, why would you want to just give anyone access to that? You wouldn't. There would be no need for it. You would have another account. You would say, okay, I got my safety deposit box that I'm never going to touch for X amount of time. And then I have this little one over here that holds nothing and could hold nothing, or holds very little value, or whatever. That's really the best play. So yes, by far, 2 wallets, easy recommendation. Highly agree with that as well. Yeah, I can't disagree with that statement whatsoever. So let's just kind of wrap this video up, guys. We know PulseChain is going to be coming soon. We know there's going to be lots of ways to acquire PulseChain, PulseX, even if you miss the initial sacrifice phase. What you have to do is make that decision for yourself of how you're going to best acquire the tokens. Are you planning on acquiring them by doing the ratio trading? Are you waiting until there's true market value actually able to be extracted and input into the ecosystem? There are many things that you must have to do, but you got to utilize some strategies that I've outlined in this article or in this video to make it just that much easier. Utilizing Hex, spreading the opportunity, buying equal allocations of all three coins. You can get in on the action and potentially reap the rewards of the new projects. And you get the benefit of having a multi-year term vision as well. So yes, one may run up higher than the other in the beginning. One may go down lower in the beginning. Who knows? Because we're not looking at it from that micro perspective. We're literally zooming out from a macro perspective and saying, I'm in the sucker for the long run. I'm in the sucker for many years. So I want to make sure I got my hand in every single one. And that's the way I'm playing it. I got my feet dipped in every single one so far. I'm not going all in on one. I don't think that's the right play to go. Especially even if you miss the sacrifice phase for PulseChain or PulseX. I think getting yourself at least both PulseChain and PulseX are probably the best bet right away, and holding them long term. If you are using Hex to get there, then make sure to have an equal allocation of PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex. And then just wait, guys. Have a freaking okay process with like, hey, this coin's gonna go and run up and do a 50x, and this coin's gonna go and run up and do a 10x. And that's okay, because again, like regret, you can be like, oh my gosh, I could have just put all this extra money in this one that did a 50x. Yes, you could have. But that's thinking very short term. That is a very short term mindset. We do not have a short term mindset in this ecosystem. We have delayed gratification mindset. We have a long term mindset. And that is the best thing you can do for yourself, because keep in mind, crypto is highly volatile. Highly volatile. There's every risk and there's every reward as well. But that's what you get with the highest appreciating asset known to man as well. So it's essential that you understand and that you're aware of the risks that you're taking, whether it be ratio trading, whether it be waiting and waiting for the dip 36, 90 days later, or waiting to get into something, or trying to spread out the allocations equally. It's important to have a good, solid understanding of this entire ecosystem before you make any trades. I like sharing this information with everyone. It was actually kind of brought up in a chat the other day, or YouTube comment. Jim Horton was the one who actually asked, and I thought this was a great idea to make a video discussing my thoughts on the PulseChain and PulseX launch, because there really was a good thought, right? Like, in my opinion, that is a good topic to discuss. So Jim Horton, thank you for bringing that up in the comments. Greatly appreciated. And you know what, for fun, I will see if I can share this. I will see if I can share this information as well, because I like giving a shout out, I like giving love where it's due. So let me see if I can just pull this up here. And Jim Horton. And guys, thank you so much for all the love, all the new subscribers coming through, everyone who's left comments on my videos, everyone who's throwing suggestions my way. I do a daily close every single day regarding the what Hex price ended up doing, with a little fun fact added at the end as well. So if you just like seeing some of that information, be sure to like, subscribe. You'll catch the shorts that I put out. Usually it comes about an hour or two after the daily close of Hex, just because of my schedule. Usually I'm walking pups or doing something else along that line. But yeah, let me share this real quick with y'all, because again, give Jim Horton that love real quick. Here we go. And and over here. Now, can I zoom in? Let me see if I can zoom in on this and see if it makes sense to do. Hey, it does zoom in. Yes. I was curious if it would or not. All right. So yeah, Jim Horton right here on this video. I got Pulse, the future. I got that little video popped up, and he commented, have you done any videos on swapping some Hex or copied Hex for Pulse and PulseX at launch? Like to hear my thoughts. I'm thinking that Pulse and PulseX could pump a little hard. Now, yes, I shared my thoughts in that video. Jim Horton, thank you so much for writing that comment. It gave me a great idea with a good little comment with a whole bunch of topics that I don't know if I had actually done a video. If I had, it would have been very brief, but this video was entirely based on that comment right there. So Jim Horton, my man, thank you so much for that. Much love, much greatly appreciated. Talking smack right here. Hey, Jim Horton, thank you for your live streams. I do think PLS will be a long-term winner. Jim Horton, let's go. Let's go, baby. Yes, I agree. I think Pulse is going to be a long-term winner. I think Hex could be do some phenomenal things where we could see Hex above $5 like the next bull run. I see Hex anywhere between $1 to $3, and that's just the next bull run. God forbid we talk about 3 more bull runs down the line. We're looking at, you know, possibly $20 Hex or something like that, which could just be massive in terms of the amount of stake that you have because you're earning trustless yield every single day. That has its own benefit. Pulse X is going to have its own benefit with the buy and burn function and everything as well. So yes, thank you again, Jim Horton, my man. Thank you for coming through. Love that comment. Love the information that we're able to share within the ecosystem and the community. Folks, much love to every single one of y'all who got to come in, tune in with me today. My name is ATX Crypto. I do a daily stream live. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.